Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulihi. Amma ba'du. I greet our listening audience. Assalamu alaikum wa Ramadan Mubarak. Welcome to Mali's Ramadan sessions, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every morning during the month of Ramadan. And we're looking at the Mali system. The Mali system of teaching Quranic Arabic with comprehension. Learning how to read the Quran with comprehension and introducing sources that can be used to help with the comprehension. Today we're going to look at Al-Bahru Al-Muhitu by Abu Hayyan. This tafsir here, this commentary on the Quran, involves not just meaning of the verses, but he gives technical meaning using grammar, showing it's an advanced writing on grammar, dealing with the grammar, the grammatical structure of the word, the forming of the words, as well as the grammatical structure of the words. There are three areas of study. The first area is called surf tasrif, where you are looking at how words are formed. You have your conjugation chart, your 10-form chart. That's the first science. It's called surf. The second science is nahu. It's called nahu. That's grammar proper. Grammar of the verb in terms of the present tense and the nouns. That's the grammar. It's called nahu. And the third level is balaga. Balaga, we could say, is the eloquence. Studying the eloquence, how the Quran is laid out in terms of its eloquence in the language. That's the three sciences that we learn. So in the Al-Bahru Muhit, these three areas he discussed. So we're going to look at it today, rather technical today, but we'll take a look. This is part of the Mali system, so it's all being recorded. The whole system is being recorded. And it's recorded for use. You can't sell it. It's not costing you anything to get it. You shouldn't sell it. Some of you charge people to teach them Quran. You charge to teach them Arabic. You charge. You can't take this and then go charge someone for it. So I'm saying it here. It's on the recording. Don't do that. Don't take. Go get it. Go get it yourself. Okay. So let's take a look. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Let's go back and get the verse. I keep forgetting to put the verse up. Let's put the verse up. This is our fourth week, day number 4. So in the first 3 weeks, you see the system, day number 4. And today we're going to look more at 2 ideas here he's going to speak of. Ittaqu here, and then ittaqu here. and tasa'aluna. Well, look at these grammatically. We call the whole body surf, nahu, balaga. We may call it grammar. Qawaid. Qawaid is a good word. It's the foundation. The foundation of reading the Qur'an, qawaid. Those three sciences. I'm just saying qawaid. Maybe others use qawaid in another sense. Okay. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا والنساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. So we're going to look these 2 or 3 words. So we're looking at the part, وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ الَّذِي تَسَاءَلُونَ بِهِ وَالْأَرْحَامَ. So Abu Hayyan is saying, قَرَّرَ الْأَمْرَ. He repeats the situation. He repeats the matter, the idea. The taqwa of taqwa. He's talking about the ittaqu here. This ittaqu is the verb of taqwa. The taqwa. So he's mentioning taqwa twice. Let me show you. Very technical, so I'm going to try to take my time and show you what he's saying. So you have taqwa here, ittaqu here, you have itqu here. It's said twice. He's saying it twice. That's what he means by repeating. He repeated taqwa for ta'keed. Now, this word is sometimes it's written taqi or tawqi. Ta'keedan. For emphasis. The second one, this one is read to emphasize the first. He's saying it twice. So we have said that. In some of the other presentations on the verse. When Allah speaks twice, it's for ta'keed. It's for emphasis, to say twice. For emphasis. Now, remember this as we go through this today. Mali system teaches how to read the Qur'an and understand, comprehend what you are reading. Mali's system does not teach how to use the language for writing or for speech. That element of the teaching is not in Mali. Mali is based upon learning how to read the Qur'an with comprehension. Not for using the language in order to speak or to write. There are some who say they're in an Arabic class, they go into an Arabic class, they come out of the Arabic class, they can't read the Qur'an with comprehension. They can't write a paragraph. They can't speak beyond 10 minutes. They can't carry on a conversation. but they know Arabic. If you want to learn how to speak, it's best to go in an environment where they speak Arabic on the street. You will hear it. It goes in your ear, and then it comes out of your mouth. It becomes a habit. Go amongst people who speak Arabic, you hear it. You hear it all the time. Put your ears in the environment of hearing it if you want to learn to speak. The same for writing. Once you learn to speak, then you can learn to write and use the language. When do I use this word? When do I use that word? When do I do this? When do I do that? That's not part of Mali. Mali is you see it, you read it, you comprehend it. The Qur'an is already written for you. Understand what you're reading. I want to put the emphasis there because that cuts out a lot with this system. That I've been in Arabic classes when I was young, it makes it more difficult when you're trying to cover writing, speaking, and comprehension all at the same time. That's why a lot of these systems don't work that we pick up. A lot of these books, we just pick them up because they're from this country or that country. We feel that like magic, it's going to work. It becomes very difficult for the common man. So we cut that part out. And we cut a lot of time out. Yes. So remember that as we go through this. So when we read, we'll know that reading this, we know that it's for emphasis. When we're reading, ittaqu. It's being said twice. Wakila, and it is said, لِإِخْتِلَافِ التَّعْلِيلِ وَذَكَرَ أَوَّلًا. For different اختلاف تعليل for different purposes. For different purpose. The first, because in the first one, let me show what he's going to be talking about so you can follow. He's talking about ittaqu. The first one now, he said ittaqu Rabba. The second one, he said ittaqu Allah. Allah is Rabb, yes, but for a purpose. Why does he say Rabb first and then he says Allah? That's the question. That's the idea. That's the question. So now, Abu Hayyan is saying, Arabu. You see this? I mentioned the other day, Arabu is not a Quranic word. This is not Quran. This is outside of Quran language. We don't have Arabu in the Quran. It's with Arab is used, I believe, all except one place. Arab is used with in the possessive case. Just showing you. Okay, Arabu. The first one, Arabu alladhi yadullu ala al-ihsani wa tarbiyah. So the Arab here is used to indicate al-ihsan, excellence, benevolence. Yes. The beneficence, the benefactor. Yes, charitable. This is Rab. Where tarbiyah is upbringing, pedagogy, education, so forth and so on. This is Rab. He brings you into existence. Yes, brings you into existence. and guards, cherishes, nourishes in your upbringing. Yes, all of this is an attribute of Rab. Rab. So that's the first that is mentioned. And seeing that, we could see Rab, how it's associated with womb. Rab, if you look at the word at Rab, what we're saying, and it's just associated with womb, compassion, charitable, your upbringing, all of that. We can see that with the womb, development, growth. Yes. To a state of maturity. Yes. Qur'an bil Qur'an. Now, وثانيا, and the second ittaqu here, ittaqullah, when he's using Allah, الذي يدل على القهر. Here the indication is more upon dominance. وهيبة, fear, respect. Yes. So now, let me make a side note. We have in the principle, given the eye test, Ar-Rahman. In Ar-Rahman, there you have this double. You add the Alif Nun, it's not dual, but the Alif Nun augments. It's in there. There are two ideas. We're talking from the eye test, not from the grammar, not what you're going to learn from the grammar books, from the eye. Rahman, you see the idea of two, Rahman, and both principles of beneficence, upbringing, beneficence, and the principle of respect and fear. Both principles. And both are principles of mercy. Ar-Rahman. And when you accept that and have respect for that and have faith in that, then there's a second kind of mercy you will get, especially for those who respect and accept the first mercy. Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim. Let's continue. Bana awalan ala at-targhib. So the first one is structured upon targhib. A targhib is like attraction. There's an attraction there. وثانيا على الترهيب. And that tarhib is more of an intimidation. Both principles in the idea of ittaqu. Yes. There's the attraction, the love, attraction, and intimidation. Very broad concept when we talk about taqwa. Taqwa Rab, taqwa for Rab, taqwa for Allah. Allah is the Rab. كقوله, as it's saying, يدعون ربهم خوفا وطمعا. They call their Lord خوفا, in fear, وطمعا, and in hope. Yes. ويدعوننا, and they call us رغبا ورهبا. Yes. Ragaban, targhib, wa rahaban, tarhib. They call us in attraction and love and hope, and they call us in fear, targhib, intimidation, fearing. Yes. Now, notice how they're giving you the meaning, then they go to the Qur'an. But actually, they're extracting the meaning from the Qur'an. And then they flip it. They flip it. They read the Qur'an because I'm just saying this for the beginners. The rules does not come before the Qur'an. The pattern of speech is not written before the Qur'an. There is no book before the Qur'an that gives you direction on the writing of writing or speaking the Qur'an. There's no language before the Qur'an, even in Arabic, that will teach you how to speak the Qur'an. The Qur'an comes as revelation, inspiration to Muhammad the Prophet, the President, peace be upon him. And he gives it as he receives it. He doesn't go to school and learn it. It's inspired. Understand that. After the inspiration comes, then the sciences come. The science of grammar, the science of surf, the science of balagha, so forth and so on. Grammar. It comes after the Qur'an and is based upon the Qur'an. So notice how, even though he gives the meaning here, he discussed the meaning, then he shows you the Qur'an. Notice, I just want you to know, they're reading the Qur'an and extracting from the Qur'an the science. So he's just showing you in terms of proof or what have you, that the rule that he's given you is in the Qur'an. The idea, the logic that he's showing is from the Qur'an. So as you can see, this will help you understand and comprehend. As you begin to grasp and see what they're showing, starting with sources. You don't know. Look at the sources. Then, after a while, with sincerity, you have to be sincere. Keep your curiosities innocent. Then, you'll begin to receive ideas, inspiration from the Qur'an. Like I'm saying about Ar-Rahman. You may not read that anywhere exactly like I said, but with all the sources that have accumulated in the reading, then I will make the statement, Ar-Rahman, there's a double concept of mercy. And that Alif Nun is indicative of that double concept of mercy. It may not, it's something I'm saying, but not I read in the book. I'm arriving at conclusive ideas. Not jumping to conclusions, arriving at conclusive ideas. Now next week I may say that may not work. I see that today. I may go further and say no. Let's go look again. You don't read the Quran and close the book. The book is it's an ascending, evolving, unfolding kind of reading. Constantly unfolding. كأنه قال, as he said, Innahu Rabbuka Ahsana ilayka. Surely your Lord, Ahsana. Ahsana, or you can say Ahsanu ilayka. He's the most benevolent towards you. So we could say Ahsanu. Fattaqi mukhalafatahu. Mukhalafatahu. Then ittaqi. Then have fear and hope. We put it all together and say regardful. Of his, towards his, or any of toward him in terms of being indifferent, being in opposition, being inconsistent, bad behavior, thinking, contrary, mukhalafata. All of that I'm seeing in the word towards him. فَإِن لَمْ تَتَّقِي. And if you're not cautious of this, if you're not having taqwa for this, then ittaqihi li'annahu shadidul iqab. If you can't have respect and honor, ittaqi, for Allah as the Lord, as the guardian, evolver, the one who brings you into existence without there being a previous pattern. There was no pattern existing to base your existence on. And he brings you into existence. Every individual is their individual self. There's no second you. There's no you before you. He brings you into existence and nurtures you, and becomes a guardian. Your guardian. Evolves you. Targhib evolves you to a state of maturity. And then you show no respect for that. Yes. Ittaqi. You're not regardful of that. Then be regardful of the fact that he can punish you severely. Then be regardful of that. Yes. The consequences. وَقَرَأَ الْجُمْهُورُ. Now that part is dealing with ittaqu. Taqwa in the two places. Taqwa of the Lord, taqwa of Allah. Now he's going to go to another aspect of, under the umbrella of, we call it grammar. It would actually be surf, but we call it grammar. But qara'a al-jumhuru, in the public, we say, everyone says, minas sab'ati, from the seven. Tasa'aluna. Here he's talking about tasa'aluna, concerning tasa'aluna. Wa qara'a al-kufiyuna. Now, in the history of grammar, when we talk about the development of the science of grammar, there are basically two schools of thought, two major schools of thought. One is the Basra school. One is the Kufa. There's Basra and there's Kufa. Basra and Kufa. So according to this Kufa school, بِتَخْفِيفِ السِّين. The lightening of the scene, like making the scene light, not heavy, not heavy. I'll show you what he's saying in here. وَأَصْلُهُ تَتَسَاءَلُونَ. So the root is تَتَسَاءَلُونَ, but it's read تَسَاءَلُونَ, and that's how it's written in the Qur'an that we read. It's written تَسَاءَلُونَ. But the root of it, form 6, you masculine plural, the first tag, this tag is for you, and then you have the tag of form 6. The tag and the aleph makes it form 6. Now, those of you who are in the beginner's class, just pay attention, take your time, be patient, pay attention. And you'll run across this a lot. And then I give it to you easy to remember. How you're going to see it, you're going to read it, you're going to understand it. Tatasa'aluna. That's the root. That's how it's written, but this is how one of the tags is dropped. Now, two things occurring that he's discussing here. So Qala Ibn Atiyah, these are early scholars, وَذَلِكَ لِأَنَّهُمْ, and that is because they hadafu tag. They dropped the tag thaniya. They dropped the second tag. So the second tag is dropped. Takhfifan, to bring about the lightness of the reading. Instead of tatasad, tasad. وَهَذِهِ تَاءُ تَتَفَاءَلُونَ. And that's the tag of تَتَفَاءَلُونَ. When you he's showing you the fa'ala pattern, that's the second tag is dropped of the تَتَفَاءَلُونَ. تُدْغَمُ فِي اللُّغَةِ وَتَحْذِيفُ فِي الْأُخْرَى. In the language, you have this idea. I'm going to explain the idea to you. You have the idea of assimilation. Tudgamu, the assimilation, it assimilates in language, and it drops in other places. It drops. لِإِجْتِمَاعِ حُرُوفٍ مُتَقَارَبَةٍ, in order to join words that are letters that are close, that are next to each other. So you're either going to assimilate, or by assimilating them, or you drop them to bring about the lightness in the reading. That's what he's saying. I'm going to, and then he's going to show. See, sometimes I mention in the class certain things you can learn from tafsirs. You go to tafsirs, you can find information on certain things. I show you in the class, but if you want to go further, like this is one of the sources. If you want to go, so many sources now that you can go to, and if you want to extend your knowledge further, these are sources to read, depend on your interests and your curiosities. That's what I'm saying. The first three, grammar, Qur'an, Bil Qur'an, and dictionary, is a must. Those three are a must. Learn those three. This, you can still read and comprehend up to a certain level real well if you don't get into these sources. So this is not a must. This is added. This is helpful. It's added. So I'm giving it, put it in the recording. If you want to go this far, you go this far. Depends on how far your curiosity will carry you. You have to come with curiosity. Now, right now, a lot of people may come to Mali. They hear about Mali. It's becoming popular to learn. They want to learn Arabic. But how strong is their curiosity? Now, when they get to Mali, let me say this a little bit about Mali. when they get to Mali, they actually start learning. And they've been in Arabic classes before, not to knock any other Arabic classes. Because when I was teaching Arabic face-to-face, I could say to myself, I failed at that. I was not successful. For the many years trying to teach face-to-face. Even this system, trying to introduce this system, there were too many things that were interfering in order for me to be successful doing it, teaching. But when I got to using the monitor here, the webinar, then, and the conditions surrounding using the webinar, you're at home, you're in the morning, there's no one to interfere with you, no one to interfere with the class. It allows us to be consistent, and for some reason, the students start learning right away. So many of them who began learning, they stay. They get up, get on the webinar, keep going, and they learn. So they stay. Then we begin to have the success. Now, some of them are following what I'm saying. Some of them are beginners, but they're learning just to get to this point. I'm not talking in the dark. I'm not just saying this. I'm actually talking to a group of students. To get this far, I would say, is a success. But a lot of times, we don't experience the success to get this far. Now, that's Mali. You can come just curious what's going on. I think I'll come in. I want to learn Arabic. But you don't have that strong curiosity to want to know. Now, some of the students have that strong curiosity. Hey, I want to know this. I want to get this. Yes. They may be fewer in number than those who come and learn and then, oh, I'm learning. Oh, I'll stay. That's good. Both are good. So if you have that strong curiosity, I'm saying all that to say, then you will come to sources like this. Like myself. I've had this strong curiosity from day one, back in the 70s. So I keep going. My curiosity is still not satisfied for me to say, I got it, I quit. I still have this strong curiosity. No, there's more. There has to be more. There's more to it. So yes, you'll keep going. You'll keep going. Yes. So you may come to these sources beyond the first three. Now, if you say I'm going to teach the Qur'an in the classroom, I'm going to teach Islam in the classroom, I'm going to teach Islam on weekends, I'm going to teach Islam, you must have the first three. But if you're driven to want to know more, you come to the next sources that I'm giving the next 3 days. Now, if you want to understand Imam W.D. Muhammad, not just from the surface, not just to read and repeat, not just to read and slap hands and give high fives. If you want to understand, put it in this way, the method of thinking, then you have to learn how to read the Qur'an with comprehension from the Arabic text. It's a must. I'm not just saying it. He said it. And if you want to teach the logic of W.D. Muhammad with understanding, not just from repetition, you have to learn Quranic Arabic. I'm not saying it, he said it. And there are sources to help you. So this is Mali, Muslim American Logic Institute. That's what we're building. So this second aspect of it. So very technical, but I'm putting it here. So let's go back. Qala Abu Ali. He's saying, وَإِذَا اجْتَمَعْتَ, when you join, al-mutaqarraba, when you join the two letters, خففت بحذف والإدغام والإبدال بالحذف والإدغام والإبدال. The three aspects he's given: dropping, assimilating, and substituting. You're going to see this. You'll see it. You'll see it when you're reading. Sometimes you're going to see where the letters are assimilated. You have a hard sound, and you have a soft sound, like you have the hard top. You have the ta, and one has a sukoon, like you add. You may idgham. You may assimilate the ta into the ta. Here you see where it's being dropped. Then you have the substitute. You have where it's substituted. Like the waw is substituted for the ta, form 8 of waqa. You put in form 8, you substitute the waw for the ta. There's a substitution there. And there are other ways you have substitution. Okay. Let's see these ideas. It says, Kama kalu, as they say, tasatta. You're saying tasatta. You see, tasatta. فابدلوا من السين الواحدة تا. So you're substituting. Okay, is al-aslu tassa. When your root is tassa, when your root is tassa, you can see the two words. You have tassa. Now, there's two things here in the root tassa. When you want to say tasatta, you did so and so, you're going to substitute. This first scene has a sukoon on it. The second scene has the fatah on it. You're going to substitute the first scene, he's saying, for the ta. The first ta is a substitute of a scene. The ta here is a substitute of the scene, and the second ta is for you, masculine singular. So you say tasat ta. So that's the idea of substitution. You substitute it. And you substitute it and you assimilate it. You substitute it and you assimilate it. In this sense. Enough said for that. Amma Qawlu Ibn Atiyah, as the saying of Ibn Atiyah, Hadafu ta thaniya fahada madhab. So the dropping of the second ta in tatasa'aluna. This is the madhab. This is the school. This is the way. Madhab means the way or the path. We say madhab, school of thought. It's the way they take it. Of the people of the Basa. This is the school of Basa. Dropping the ta. وَذَهَبَ al-Hisham, and Hisham, and this the rest of his name, of the Kufi school. Hisham ibn Muawiyah al-Dariri. He's of the Kufa. He's the Kufi, al-Kufi, the Kufic school. إلى أن محذوفة is the dropping of the first. It's getting a little technical now. And it is the ta mudara. It's called the ta mudara of likeness or similarity. وهي مسألة خلاف ذكرت دلائلها في علم النحو. So it's ذكرت, mentioned. So this different issue, inquiry. Let me make this correction. Have to make my corrections. It's going to be put up, and I shouldn't put it up. I want to make it passive. Yes, look it up. Get ready to do it again. Look it up. So this different mas'ala, this different inquiry, or this different inquiry or issue is mentioned. Its proof is mentioned in the science of Nahu, in the science of grammar. So the other idea here, let's see, he's showing is there are three ideas in Tatasa'aluna. Well, he's lightening the scene. Okay, there are three ideas. You got idgam, hafu idgam, and ibdal. Let me find the word. Let's go back and find the word, and I'll show you the three in short. Okay. Let's see if I can write it for you. Ta, sa, luna. Now, then you have ta, you can have tes. This is idgam now. This is idgam. Tes, sa, luna. That's idgam. What to make it light? To make it light, I took the second ta and I assimilated it into the scene to make it tessa aluna. That's to make it light by assimilating it into the scene. That's the first part he was saying. Tessa aluna. Then that's idgam. Now let's have the dropping. So now we're going to drop it. We're just going to drop the ta in it being of similar likeness. Tete sa aluna. Now, so you have here, you have, where's my opinion? So here you're going to have assimilation and or substitution, because I substituted the tab for the scene and assimilated it. Here you're going to drop the tab. So you have substitution and assimilation, and you have dropping. And this happens in other letters, with other letters. So, a little technical today. giving you the idea. You run into this again, of course, through repetition. But when you read it, you'll understand and see what you're reading. That's the first step, and that's what we're doing here at Mali, for you to read and understand what you're reading. Yes. Thank you for your time. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Assalamu alaikum wa Ramadan Mubarak.